Arrow Season 3, Episode 13, titled Canaries. Wow. Can I just say, Peter Stormare guest stars as Count Vertigo, obviously. Again, I'll get to my pros and cons and spoiler review, as said before in the opening. This is a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, go to thecw.com/arrow. It should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, my opinions, pros and cons, and the final score at the end. But real quick, when Peter Stormare says, "May I suggest a grand finale?" That was a horrible accent for me right there, but that is what makes life good. Can I just say that right now? Peter Stormare, you're the man. Anyway, let's get right to it. I'll go quick for you guys. Ollie is not okay with Laurel being the Black Canary, or the Canary, if you will. And Malcolm suggests that Thea knows about Oliver's secret, that he is the Green Arrow, or the Vigilante. So Vertigo escapes from, before either getting transferred over to another prison or something. He ends up escaping, and Oliver reveals his secret. This is a huge episode right here where he reveals to Thea that I am the Arrow. And I actually was like, no, Thea's not going to hate on him this time. I feel like there's just so much hate she's had over the past episodes or the past seasons, where she basically just said, thank you. And I was like, oh man. I was smiling the whole time. So there's a flashback where people take Oliver, and it was end up being Waller. And after he was calling his mom on the phone, of course he's in Hong Kong still, someone explodes himself, obviously, and he's like, Vertigo said he was going to kill my family and my wife, so he ends up exploding that guy. There's a flashback where Waller erased the memory, and she basically threatens about Thea and saying that she started using drugs and everything, of course, as we saw in Season 1. And she was like, if you don't cooperate with us, they're going to find Thea in the back of a car with a needle in her hand, her arm. That was sick, man. That was intense right there. So he ended up giving the location of where Maceo and his family is. Let's see. So Laurel gets hit by the Vertigo, and of course she faces her sister Sarah, which she's not actually there, but in her mind it is. And she basically gets her ass kicked. Vertigo ends up escaping again. Laurel's an IV, and this is a part where Thea's downstairs and she's like, Ollie, is everything okay? And he's like, go upstairs now. And Roy was like, you can't talk to her like that. In that moment, I was like, shh. Roy standing up to Oliver, and he's like, what the hell were you doing? Like, Oliver thinks he's just, I'm in charge because it's my show. No. Honestly, Oliver out those past like 2-3 episodes were one of the greatest episodes out of the whole series. So you don't need Oliver Queen every time just to make a point. So that's just my opinion, guys. But he stands up to Oliver, and he's like, if it's not my way, then it's not going to work. There's a flashback where Maceo is back with Oliver, and Chase had sex with Thea in present day, by the way, so I should say that. And they end up fighting because she finds out Chase is part of the League of Assassins, or League of Shadows, League of Assassins, I believe. And he ends up killing himself with cyanide. Dark Archer was there also. So they're going to go after Vertigo. They end up fighting, and Laurel ends up beating him, the crap out of him. Lance finds out about Sarah. Very emotional scene. That's another big secret that got revealed. And basically, Malcolm said, now you, Oliver, and Thea, you need to conquer your fear. So they go back on the island, and Liam, I'm totally sorry, I suck at saying the name. But they're back on the island where Slade Wilson is. Gotta do that Slade Wilson voice. It's hard to do that because my throat's itchy. So they're on the island with Thea, and there's a flashback where they're back in Starling. So he was back in Starling within the 5 years, and the family never knew. That's going to be intense, guys. So overall, what did I think about this episode of Arrow Canaries? First off, I'm going to get with my cons, but real quick, I'll get to it at the end, guys, but cons. The opening, they opened up with already showing Black Canary fighting Canary, or Canary versus Canary, and I was like, no, don't spoil it. You guys showed it in the promo. That means you should let us wait to see the epic fight instead of just spoiling it and just showing like 20 seconds of them fighting. I was like, that's not cool. You show Laurel getting beat up. Let's wait. Let's not spoil that. But I didn't agree with the opening. It felt off. Something felt off about this episode for some reason. Like when Thea was fighting Chase and she had the knife, or he had the knife to her, Roy kicks open the door. Don't you think it'd be like, oh, her throat's cut. How did he know that the knife wouldn't... I'm just saying. And also, how did Malcolm know that Chase was, like... How did Malcolm have time to... We gotta change, put the pants on, put the boots on, tie that boot right there, and put this on. Alright. I know he's probably a quick changer, but how did he have the time to do all that? Was he spying on Thea while she was doing the goods? I mean, really. Also, Vertigo was... When you have Peter Stormare on a show, man, you use him to his full potential. His full potential. But they didn't use him for his full potential. Vertigo was better in the first episode, the season premiere of season 3. When he first came out, Peter Stormare. That was way better. So I felt like he was underused in this episode. They should have used him a little bit more and wrote a little bit more for his character. Excuse me. Also, I love the secrets. I'll get to my pros, but there's just too much to handle. When you think about it, you have Thea learning that Oliver's the Arrow. Then you have Lance learning about Sarah. And then you just have Roy standing up to Oliver and Chase being revealed that he's a villain. And then in a flashback that Oliver's coming to Starling. It's just so much stuff that's too big. Too big to be in one episode. It feels like this ain't even a mid-season finale or something. This is just a regular... And I'm glad all these secrets are dropped, but still, it's too much. Too much for me to handle, man. Now, the pros. First off, having Sarah back, yes, that's great. I love that actress in Falling Skies. It's great to have her cameo back on. Hope to see her sometime before the end of Season 3 again. Maybe. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Lance, that whole scene with Lance finding out about Sarah and the emotion, it's emotional, and I cried, and it's sad, and it played so well. So well. The reveals, though, I'm still going to say that when Thea found out about Oliver, that was great. The revealing was great. I couldn't picture it any other better way. I couldn't picture the Lance any other way either. I think that it was just, they came clean, and that was great. The action in this episode was okay. I mean, it was nothing like, the action, man, in this episode is the greatest thing ever. No, it was just okay for this week. I'll let it slide, man. The action was good. The ending of this episode definitely was great with them on the island. And also, I'm still going to say Peter Stormare having Vertigo in this episode. They didn't, when you think about it, this episode could have standed on its own without Vertigo. But with Vertigo, I still loved Peter Stormare in here. He did a great job, even that he was underused. Vertigo was still fun. May I suggest a grand finale? I just love it. And also next week, Deathstroke returns. Mr. Slade Wilson, where is it? Right there, the mask is way right. It's right there, guys. Where he's like, not cool, kid. I'm Slade Wilson. See, I can't do the voice right now. My name is Slade Wilson. 5 years ago, I was stuck on an island. You know, Mirakuru, kid. Yeah. It's hard to do it. Welcome home, kid. Welcome home, Oliver Queen. It's hard to do that, but Deathstroke, I will put an arrow through his eye. It's hard to do it, but overall, I'm going to give Arrow of the Canaries episode, man, a solid B. I enjoyed the episode. It's still a good episode. It wasn't great. Last week was a little bit more better, again, with Brick and Vinnie Jones. But for what we had, we saw Laurel step up. Very good. Oliver and Thea are going to be on an island together. That's going to be very interesting and very kinky. And overall, I think it's just a good episode overall. And it was still enjoyable and still worth watching. And I can't wait for next week's episode. My boy Slade's back. Yeah. So again, solid B. Hope all of you enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know what's your favorite part of Arrow. Share this video, guys. Hit that like button for more Arrow. See you next week. May the Spock be with you always. Flash was still better, though. I'm gonna be honest. Flash was better for the Nuclear Man. Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell. Within 2 days. I can't handle this pressure, guys.